So what really makes a scientist? I bet it's not what you think. It's way more than a lab coat and a bunch of beakers. There's this secret ingredient, this special way of looking at the world that fuels every great discovery. Let's dig in and find out what it is.
Okay, when I say the word scientist, who pops into your head? Just take a second. Is it someone from a history book, or maybe someone you've seen in the news lately? Let's throw a few names out there.
Maybe you think of someone like Canan, a brilliant Turkish physicist who creates these incredible flexible electronics you can actually wear that keep an eye on your health right from your skin. So cool.
Or maybe it's Nobel Prize winner Aziz Sancar, whose team mapped out the incredible way our cells actually repair damaged DNA. I mean, that's a discovery that's absolutely fundamental to fighting disease.
And of course, we've got Alper Gezerovci, Turkey's very first astronaut, a former fighter pilot who took all his skill and curiosity and blasted off to the final frontier. So, okay, we have a physicist, a biochemist, and an astronaut. I mean, those fields are worlds apart, right? So what's the one thing, the common thread that ties them all together and makes them scientists? Let's figure it out.
You know, it all really comes down to this one single powerful feeling. A feeling that kind of kickstarts everything they do. Any guesses what it is? It's curiosity. But not just any curiosity. We're talking about an endless, can't get enough of it kind of curiosity. This is their secret weapon, their superpower, really. It's a fundamental need to figure out how the world works.
And yeah, this is way more than just wondering about something for a second. We're talking about a deep desire to ask questions about everything, from the tiniest cells to the mind-boggling size of space, and to just relentlessly hunt for the answers.
You know, I love this comparison. They're basically detectives. They see a puzzle out there in the world, a mystery, and they just can't let it go. They gather clues, follow leads, and piece together all the evidence to get to the truth. But, you know, being a detective isn't just about being curious. You need a toolkit, right? So let's look at the qualities and the methods that help them turn that raw curiosity into something that can literally change the world.
First off, their method is super systematic. It's not just random guesswork. They start with a really clear question. Then, they hunt for answers from sources they can actually trust. And, this is the big one, they work with so much patience and determination. I mean, think about Aziz Sancar's work on DNA repair. That didn't happen in a week. It took years of careful, methodical work. And their mindset is just, it's crucial. A great scientist has to be open to brand new ideas, even ideas that might prove them wrong. And just as important, they have to be open to criticism. You see, for them, failure isn't the end. It's just a new clue. It's a new question. Okay, why didn't that work? And that just starts a whole new investigation. And all of this fits into a bigger picture, right? You need that creativity to even imagine something like Canan Dağdeviren's wearable tech. You need to think critically, to question every single thing, just like a Nobel Prize winner has to. And science is rarely a solo sport. Think about the huge team behind Alper Gezerovci's trip to space. But underpinning all of that, you have to have honesty and responsibility. That's the foundation everything is built on.
Okay, so with all that in mind, let's go back to that first image we had of a scientist. Because, honestly, the stereotype is usually way off. It's time to see the real picture. Yeah, this is the classic image, isn't it? Someone in a white lab coat, surrounded by bubbling beakers. And look, some scientists totally do that. But that is such a tiny, tiny part of the whole story. The truth is, scientists are everywhere. They're exploring the cosmos. They're deep in forests studying plants. They're researching the human body. And outside of work, they're just like us. They're artists. They're athletes. They play music. That curiosity isn't just a job. It's a part of who they are. So, we've kind of unpacked what makes a scientist tick and busted a few myths along the way. Now, let's bring it all back to you.
Because here's the bottom line. Scientists aren't some separate breed of human. They're our curious companions, you know? They're the ones leading the charge, figuring things out, and sharing what they learned so we can all understand our world a little bit better.
And that brings us to the most important question of all. Because you don't need a fancy degree to be curious, right? You don't need a lab to ask questions and look for answers. That exact same engine, that curiosity that drives the world's greatest minds, it's inside you, too. So what are you curious about? What mystery are you going to solve?